Hello, Joe, if you're there, and anybody else. Sorry, we were just fiddling with the settings, just trying to get everything just so. I think it's going to take a bit more tweaking, but I think I've ruined it again. Oh, well, bother. Drat. Um, there we go. Now I feel like you can't see that as well. Oh, hang on, it's because it was higher, I think. Is that better? Can we see more of what's going on? Hopefully so. Anyway, right. Hello. Yes, happy Saturday afternoon. We've finally made it. What a long week that was. I'm very lucky that I've got nice colleagues. I genuinely do. But good grief, the hours are long. Long. But finally back here. And we're going to have some fun. My lovely sweetheart, my lovely wife, surprised me by going and getting some ingredients I didn't know about when she was having her day off. So I get to have some fun with one of my favourites. We're going to play with rhubarb. Love rhubarb. I think rhubarb is one of those ingredients where, I mean, if you get it wrong, it's almost a sin. It really should be. It's a lovely tart flavour to it. And I've had a few dishes where somehow they've absolutely ruined it. And I don't know how, to be honest, because it's rhubarb. I mean, it's so tart. It's such a lovely flavour. To have it be dull is almost sin of omission. Or active sin, I don't know. So what we're going to do is I've got about 500 grams of rhubarb, fresh from our local grocer. Thanks and care to lovely Mrs. L. I'm going to combine that with the zest and the juice of an orange. I've picked, because I particularly like them, a good blood orange. Nice and tart. Oh, the smell coming off that is excellent. And combine that just simply with some caster sugar, and we're away. Because you wanted to keep some shape and structure, in fact, really, I should have been more prepared and got a pan. Obviously, wash everything in advance. I say obviously, I keep forgetting and need to be reminded. So, hello, my love. We're started. We're back in business.
Excellent.
Super duper. Although, as ever, being only half prepared, I've not got the pan or the sugar. But at least I've managed to remember to tell. No, it's all right. I got it. I help.
Okay.
I know you're being amazing, doing great research things for us.
Devoted.
Not devoted.
I want to have a cheese.
Have a little cheese. Well, since you're here. Right. It says stainless steel pan, but I think that's as close. Oh, gosh. That will do us quite nicely. Let's grab some sugar.
You can see all the stuff next to the sink in the background.
Yep. That we need to fix.
Oh, you know what? The rhubarb looks so nice and the blood orange.
Well, I mean, if it does on there, thank goodness, because I mean, I love the smell of the blood orange is just. Oh, so happy with that. Well done, you. Right, we can actually put with this recipe just everything straight into the pan. Oh, that's kind of blocking absolutely everything. So I'm just going to put that there, just that. So let's get that tucked away. And our thanks to Joe, who happened to bob on whilst we were testing all the various settings to let us know how it looked from your end. Woo! And there goes a car. So that is about, to be honest, it's a bit more than 500 grams. The recipe that you found, Choufleur, asked for 500, but it's about 556. But it's going to mean, once it's stewed, it'll be nice and tart. So there we are. Lovely jubbly. So that goes there. Then I need the zest and juice of one orange. Try and avoid any pith, or indeed taking the. I will bring that onto just because it's easier. Should get a lovely smell coming up off this soon. Oh wow.
Make sure you don't like scrape any nasty bits. Right?
Yes, yeah. Don't go too far. Who was it we were watching that was saying about the correct way to use graters so that... Bradley Oney. New discovery. Thank you to Andrulas and Sarana for pointing us in his direction. Great YouTube channel, that. Watching it pretty much back to back.
Yeah.
It's very watchable. But yes, a tip taken from him, which I'll now employ. Brush down. Do not do an up and down motion, because then all you're doing is... How did he describe it? Like, basically blunting the metal. You just sort of...
Yeah.
Not really using it to full effect. There we are. So just get the zest in. Try and avoid getting any pith in there. Oh dear. Did not get a notification. Darn. Maybe that's a problem on our end, because RC and KP said they had the same thing where the notification didn't come up.
Maybe it's, I don't know.
Sorry, Joe. Sorry about that. I haven't actually got... I mean, all of this is sort of prior to us getting a computer again, because we've moved house into the countryside and we don't currently have one. So this is all through mobile phone. But once we do, we'll start to make things a little more technical and maybe put in some extensions, some overlays, but we'll keep the nice friendly chat the same way. So because you didn't get the notification, what we're doing is we've got our rhubarb that's about 500 to 600 grams. We're currently putting in zest of one orange in its juice. And the tip you may or may not have seen is, which I'm not professing to be an authority, we found this out last night, always go down, don't bother going down and up, because it will essentially just blunt your grater. So avoiding any pith, or as my family would immediately joke, taking the pith. Aha, aha. So drop that down. So all we're doing with this recipe is, in fact, actually, yes, that's what he did. I'm not doing good television here. What Bradley Oney, I was watching him do it, he's brushes down, brushed
I can
along.
smell the orange.
Can you smell it from there? That is a good sign. That is a really good sign. So get all of that out. Now, I'm already tweaking the recipe because I really, really, really like that sour and sharp taste of rhubarb. So I'm putting in... Also, there was a bit that was bruised on this orange, so I just cut that off. The rest of it's fine. Oop, and then I dropped it. Give that a squeeze. So this will actually be tarter than the recipe that I picked up. Oh gosh, now there is an ASMR noise for you. That's a squelch and a half. Oh, gosh, actually this is absolutely falling apart. I'm not just getting the actual flesh in here as well.
I'm sure that's no problem.
Right, I'll just squeeze then until... Whoa, look at that. Honestly, we've got... Yeah, squeeze. We're squeezing our oranges, we're pounding beef mince, and, you know, kitchen is a place of double entendre, I swear. But I hope you're well, Joe. Thank you for helping with the settings. It's very kind of you. It's always good to know how it looks from your side. Ooh, that's a squelchy noise and a half. Ooh, ha! Nearly in my eye.
Let me see inside.
You want to see inside the pan?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. That is a... Oh, you see, with the new change, I forget where the camera is. That is a well-squeezed bit of orange. Right, that's all over my hands. My hands smell. Oh, delightful. So here we are. So, that's probably going to mess with the camera angles a little bit, but... so there we go. Right. Now, I'm going to get this off my hands. Quickly. Then I come back in shot to hide the mess in the background because I haven't cleaned up yet. Right, let's move that to one side. Let's get everything off that grater. Gosh, that orange really has had it. Dear me. Just clear up as we go along. Next thing we need is 100 grams of sugar. The recipe called for caster sugar. We have caster sugar.
Yeah.
Lovely. I thought I was improvising with more sugar. Sugar we had. That nearly fell over. We grab that. There we go. Right, so just whilst I'm measuring out 100 grams of sugar.
I shouldn't trust an apartment that describes itself as like a miracle, should I?
No, that does not fill me with confidence. We're currently we've got a nice holiday coming up, and we're trying to sort accommodation. Even though God, wrecking the place. We're 15 days or so out from going, and we have nowhere to stay. But like a miracle, no, that's like what's the airline called? Is it Wow Airlines? And that comedian was saying that is not a good name for it. Amazed that they happen to have arrived. Wow, brilliant.
That Icelandic.
Yes,
comedian, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's him. Oh, the scales aren't happy. Why are you making that noise? What do you mean out to? What does that mean? Right, hang on, back on. Reset the level. 100 grams. Here we are. Sugar pouring action. Here we go.
Oh,
In fact, if I do it a bit higher, it's like, it's raining sugar. Woo.
yeah.
I want a big lump. Keep going.
It's a lot of sugar, eh?
It is. I've only got to 35 grams. I've got to get to 100. Keep going. Don't panic, Mr. Manning. I love that show. Never watched the film though. You know they did a
Dad's Army film.
Yeah, never watched it. I suppose I remember growing up with Dad's Army when it came on a Sunday.
Yeah.
There were seldom fewer things I enjoyed more than just sitting and watching Dad's Army. Because
What channel was it on?
wasn't it on BBC?
Was it?
Yeah.
Was the Lower Low on?
BBC as
Oh,
well.
was that BBC as well?
Yeah. Right, so let's back to here. So a lot of sugar, but the rhubarb can take it. Now, so I assume it is homegrown. We haven't grown it ourselves because we've only just moved in, and essentially our plot of land isn't ready for it. But it is homegrown by someone in the United Kingdom countryside.
Yeah, it's from Yorkshire.
From Yorkshire, right? Okay, there we go.
So it's UK rhubarb. Did you know there's a rhubarb triangle?
A rhubarb? Is that like the Bermuda?
It's in Yorkshire. You know, like there's an asparagus triangle in the Midlands, yeah.
Oh right.
The rhubarb triangle is in Yorkshire.
Right. Okay.
And it's between I feel like one of the corners of the triangle is like Bradford or something, but let me just check.
Yeah, sure. Oh, cool. So we've got the Bermuda Triangle, the asparagus triangle, Right, so this also needs 2 teaspoons of water, so I'm just going to go and pop that in. That really does not seem like a lot of water for a lot of ingredients, but that is what it calls for, so that is what we shall do.
You didn't show that very well.
There we go. So I'll try and, you can see that you might be able to see just at the bottom. Oh no, there is very, very little liquid. I mean, it's so little I'm struggling to even show you, so I'm going to do the alternative and just get this on the boil.
So check this, yeah?
Go on.
The rhubarb triangle also alliteratively known as the Tusky Triangle.
The Tusky Triangle?
Yeah, from the Yorkshire word for rhubarb.
Ah.
So what do they call it? Tusky? Anyway, it's a 9 square mile triangle in West Yorkshire. between Wakefield, Morley and Rothwell.
There we go. Educational streaming as well. So where we are, I will dare to try and move the camera and hopefully then be able to get into the habit of putting it back in the right place.
So fast.
What, me moving the camera?
No, the Rhubarb Triangle.
Why, what's wrong?
At its peak, it covered an area of 30 square miles, but now it's only 9 square miles.
Oh.
More people need to eat their rhubarb.
Here's the lesson. Everybody eat rhubarb. It's great. Ooh.
Did you know it's a native of Siberia? Sorry,
This is brilliant. So we've got native Siberian vegetables grown in Yorkshire in a growing triangle that shrunk. Currently in somewhere else in the countryside of the UK.
It thrives in the wet, cold winters in Yorkshire. West Yorkshire once produced 90% of the world's forced rhubarb.
Wow. Rhubarb needs to come back into taste. It's really good. Right, so what we're doing, I'm going to try this. Joe, sorry if this goes horribly wrong, but I'm going to bring you round, try and direct you with the camera, and I'm struggling because this is...
No,
are we there?
A bit... Yeah. Yeah, looks good.
Looking good?
Looks rhubarby.
Looks rhubarby. Right. So this needs to come to a boil. The smell that's coming off it already is great.
You're quite shaky.
I'm quite shaky.
Wait. No, it's fine.
Hold still?
Yeah.
Alright. So I'm just keeping an eye on the liquid here. You can see it just in the corner near my spatula. We're getting some bubbles there. I need that to come to the boil. And then once it does, I turn it down and let it simmer for about 8 minutes. So I also need a lid, which would be a good idea.
Do you want me to get you a lid?
Would you mind? Ah, here we are. We're already getting to boil territory. Put it down. There we are. Nice close up
Oh yeah, that looks good.
of boiling rhubarb.
What an educational stream.
Education and preserving food. Maybe that's our niche in this little corner of the internet. And being very friendly whilst we're at it. We found some very friendly people so far.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay.
Right, okay, I'm going to move out of the way. Joe, I'm going to bring you back.
Oh wait, no, you could have kept it there.
Just going to bring you back.
Wait.
What an educational stream. Yes, even Joe thinks so.
Yeah, that's what I was
Discerning
saying.
rhubarb from Mrs. I liked it. I put a ring on it, Joe. I followed the advice of the song. Oh, hang on. Is that boiling? Boiling?
Well,
You say it's
there's
boiling?
bubbles.
Yeah, that'll do. Right, turn it down.
Happy?
Yep, happy. Right, let's put a timer on. Yes, I couldn't let Miss Al carry on being a miss. Too risky. Somebody would have come in and swept her away. So I did it first. Try and bring her into my roost.
Into your roost?
Owl. Do owls have roosts? No, they have nests. That's... I don't...
Don't chicken is a
Oh, chickens have roosts. Right, okay, so that's going to take another 8 minutes. So we will show everyone what that's like. So let's get rid of, so far, just bits of vegetable. And now we're going to move on to... I realise I made a mistake here.
What?
I need that pan to do the next thing.
We've got other pans.
Yeah... I should have used... Drat. Never mind, I can still
We've
cook
got
that.
another big pan.
Let's have a look into...
The big metal pan.
Do you know what? It's probably overkill, but never mind. It'll do, won't it?
Well, I mean, you've not got that many radishes.
No, do you know what? In 8 minutes, it'll probably take me that long to cut all the radishes.
Oh, yeah, true.
So I'll do that first. The recipe would say do this the other way around. So, where we are now, hopefully you can see that there, is I realised I bought some radishes and I didn't get round to doing the meal that I wanted to do with them. So instead, we're going to preserve them. Love it. So, what we've got here is, again, homegrown. You can almost, I swear you really can tell when they are homegrown. Because just everything about them is just so much fresher.
Look at the size difference. What's going on there?
Between those and the other ones?
Yeah.
I don't know. I suppose, again, that's the homegrown thing. Maybe like the last time we went into the grocers, they had smaller ones.
I think homegrown is the wrong term. They're
okay.
UK.
UK grown by somewhere a local farmer, and they've come to a local grocer. I put it that way. That's more accurate. So first thing I'm going to do is just get rid of all the leaves. We're going to top and tail these in a minute, but I just want to get rid of the, if you like, the parts of nature that really aren't going to go into the preserving. And I've remembered, of course, if we are preserving, we also need to sterilise our various receptacles. So let's get the oven on to do that. You do not use fairy liquid platinum. How shall you or Mrs. Owl clean greasy pans with cleanliness?
Because you can see the sink.
Did you see that?
I told you about the sink.
I leant over that way. How did you tell that from there? My God, your eyes are brilliant.
Well, we like original.
I like whatever is on offer. No, no, that's not true.
Just original.
We do.
I grew up with original.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
I'm just
Used to it. It works, and then maybe one day we'll be.
Also, platinum is more expensive, isn't it?
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Well, I'm busy spending all of our money on radishes, so you know. It's,
I think it's noticeably more expensive.
Yeah. Either way, just make sure your implements are clean. Give it a good scrub afterwards. Right, so I'm just going to, there we are, get rid of that, and then let's just get rid of these little bits here. But it's interesting that the notifications aren't working. Because obviously I want to chat with folk and share this with anyone who's just interested in a relaxing, not really very challenging bit of internet streaming. But if it's not notifying anyone that we're here, I suppose it needs a fix, I think. So let's just, there we are. So the recipe itself actually calls for a mountain's worth of radishes, but because most of our jars are currently in use with the likes of sauerkraut and pickles, which obviously we're now tucking into because they're ready to go. In fact, they were ready, weren't they? Before that's what we were saying. They needed to come out a bit sooner.
The texture of the cucumber was not as good as it needed. More crunch.
Yeah, I think we're going to do that again and maybe do it with a little variation, and we'll do it for a shorter period too. So there we go. That's our radishes. I'm just going to lift the thing on the rhubarb. How's that doing? Oh, that's looking good. So how much do I have? Well, actually, let's top and tail it first. Yes, that's a good idea. Let's top and tail. So off we go. So try not to take too much off. Little waste as possible, but equally don't want to leave. In fact, if I for example did that, I'll hold that to the camera. You can see there. I'll get a bit closer. There's a bit of green there. You can see with the point of my knife. You don't want that. That's going to be fairly unpleasant. So let's just take that out. There we go. What you really want. I'm just trying to remember where this camera is now that I've changed it. So there's no green there now, or on the other side because I've just taken it out. So that's what you're after. So yes, another busy week for us. Lost count of the hours in the end. How about, well, Joe, you're here. The rest of the chat is quiet. You have a nice week? Up to much? What does the week normally have in store for you? And for us, and I'm very grateful to my lovely and far better half for basically making sure we have somewhere to stay when we go on holiday. Are we slim pickings?
Just everything just doesn't look very nice.
Ah.
There's a place with a piano so you can practice.
Oh, what fun. I could, of course, have sliced these before we started, but, you know, high quality television, watching a man top and tail radishes. Hopefully, if I do this against the clock... Oh, no, I'm definitely not going to do it. That rhubarb should apparently be ready in 30 seconds.
Ooh.
And we want it to a point where it's soft, but holding its shape, apparently.
Can I give it a mixy mix?
Yeah, give it a little mixy mix. A little stirry poo.
Ooh, oh, yeah, it's...
Oh, is that too much?
Yeah.
Oh, right down. But for that close,
I
just
think
turn it
it's
off.
done.
Turn it off, turn it off, yeah. Right, that then
There's
needs...
a lot of liquid though, so what do you do about the liquid?
You leave it and let it solidify. Sorry, Joe. Is the audio all right? Could you not hear us? I was just saying we were busy saying how long our week is, and just asking how you are. How was your week? What does the week normally have in store for you? No, maybe leave it off. I think if it needs to cool. In fact, let me get an oven glove and just
Show it.
yeah.
It smells very strongly of orange.
Woo! Gosh, it does, yeah. So here we go. Oh, forgetting where the camera is. So now you can see that's reduced down a lot. Gotta be very careful because there is quite a bit of liquid.
Can I smell it?
Yeah, that's one. You just get a spoon and just try and just a bit of a tasty taste.
It's going to be really hot.
Very hot
Please be
indeed.
careful.
Yeah. So we don't want any. Yeah, I may have done that too long. That really is breaking down a lot. But...
Some of it is, but some of it isn't.
Oh no, that's gorgeous.
Did it taste nice?
That's really good.
Okay then.
I think maybe the blood orange was a bit much for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Is it that all you can taste?
There's a lot of it in there. Do you want to have a little?
Oh, is it ruining it?
No, it's not. No.
I want to wait until it's cool.
Wait until it's cool. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
want
need.
to wait until it's thicker.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave the pan there just for a second. We'll finish slicing up the radishes.
Okay.
Yeah, Joe, if you can't hear us, just let us know. Maybe I need to fiddle with that as well. We've not tried it with, if you like, doing in self-portrait mode on the phone. So I don't know if the microphone... Well, the microphone is sort of on this side, pointing towards the wall. That might be causing a problem. I suppose I should have, when we were testing this, actually done a test for the audio too.
Oh yeah, because you know what?
Mm-hmm.
My laptop hasn't even been on mute.
Really? Oh gosh, Joe, I sympathise. We are in the same boat, you and I. The week contained 5 a.m. starts for him. Yeah, sympathise with you, Joe, completely.
Did you finish the gin as well?
We finished the gin that we bought. It turned out to be very, very strong.
So we've still got the whole bottle.
So we have the whole bottle. We had what there was, and it was like being hit by a gin truck. It was, I mean, brilliant, and it's going to be great fun doing a few more of them. But heaven above, yeah, like being steamrolled by the gin train. Now I'm not 100% sure about this radish. Because it's a little bit soft when I'm...
Oh, yeah, no, don't.
No, not risk it. Because this is... I'm now on to the radishes that were in the fridge. So, for the most part, they're fine.
Oh, I found one that looked really cute.
Yeah? Some accommodation may be forthcoming. But yeah, Joe, completely... I feel your pain. I hope it's like my situation where I know it's long... thankfully I have nice colleagues who make up for it, and a lovely place to come back to in the countryside. And I think in our world, we're hoping that it won't be permanent at the very, very early start. Does it also involve a lot of commuting for you as well? Nearly there, we're nearly to the end of radish chopping. Actually, no, that one as well has gone a bit soft, so let's not risk that. Right, next thing, I need a tub for the rhubarb. So I'm going to, unfortunately, be showing off the sink again. I'm edging this way, trying to block the sink as much as I can, so you can't see what's going on. What do you think of the one you found? Is it looking positive? Maybe?
I'm just trying to find the map and the review. I hate the booking website. It's just not a very nice website to navigate.
Whose site is it?
Booking.com.
Oh, right, okay.
Because you don't want to use Airbnb, right?
I do not, no, not if we can avoid it. So here we are. I'm just going to leave that to cool as per the recipe. I'll pop that underneath our camera. Oh, in fact, I've not scraped that out very well. Where's my spatula? However, thank you very much, love. I'm going to look forward to having that every morning this week. Rhubarb joy. Do you know what? I suddenly got the song "How Do You Like Your Eggs in the Morning" in my head. Oh Lord, a couple of blimey. I only have to, walk to a train station. Joe here is doing a couple of miles of cycling every day, in the dark on undulating roads. Hats off to you, Joe. That's impressive effort. I hope your employers appreciate you. We appreciate you. And if they don't, they need a strong talking to.
Do you want me to wash that off?
No, it's okay. I need it straight away, so I'll just.
Oh, I was going to wash it straight away.
Do you want a cup of coffee then?
Sure.
Again, here we go. High quality Twitch television. Watching a man do the washing up. Yes, we are. Right, that's one thing done. And the next, now that we've got our pan back, the one I wanted to use, is we are going to do some pickling. Some brand new ingredients. And we're back again. Right, okay, now I need to know how many radishes I've got, because there's going to have to be a bit of maths. Ooh. Don't like maths.
I can help if you want.
I think you may have to, just to double check I get this right. So we've got how many grams of... Got 330 grams of radishes.
And what did it need?
850.
Oh my god.
So
Is that not enough?
Well, I'm deliberately not making enough as much because the recipe makes 3 to 4 jars,
Oh, really?
and I don't want to do that much. Not this time. So if I've got, why has it changed its mind? You were 330, and now you're saying less. Which are you? What are you doing? Make up your mind. How much do you weigh? 331.
Just say 330.
So call it 330 over the intended 850. Do you know what? I'm going to not use a calculator. Let's see. Of all those years and 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 years ago of GCSE maths, you do it on the calculator. I'll see if I can work it out with a pen and paper.
What am I meant to do? 330 divided by 850?
50 times by 100.
Okay.
I've already goofed. Hang on. So da. Oh crumbs.
Do you want me to do it?
No. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. That is 17. I've made this really hard for myself. Take me out of my misery. I'm never going to get there.
It's 38.8.
38.8%.
Yeah.
Right, okay. So I need... Maybe you can help me here, love.
Okay.
What is 38.8% of 500 mil? Doesn't matter that it's mil.
194.
So 194. Same again for 150 grams of sugar. I'm going to shuffle this way so you can't see the sink.
58.2.
58.2. Here you go. Riveting stuff, this, Joe. On-screen mathematics. Right, we can't do that for the lime. Can't really do that for the beetroot. I'm going to have to wing it. And the allspice. And the peppercorns. And the sea. Right, okay, that's all I need. Well, I mean, 38.8 is 35%, roughly.
Yeah.
So, about a third.
Yeah.
So, if I do a third of a lime, zest and juice, maybe just one slice of beetroot.
Okay.
Real improvisation here. I'm going to leave the allspice... Oh, no, that's not going to work either, is it? I need a third of a half. God, this isn't working.
That's fine. Just do a shaky shake.
I'll do a shaky shake. A little sprinkle winkle.
No.
That's the bad one. I'll do 1 teaspoon of peppercorns-ish. Maybe half of salt. There, right. Recipe improvised. Or my crazy notes improvised. Right, so here we go. And the recipe's going to fall on the screen.
Oh, this blizzard's cute too.
Yeah. So there we go. Beetroots, now that I've weighed them, let's get them out of there. So we're not going to start with them. So, just to recap, what we're doing is we're going to pickle these radishes. And the start point, however, is not the main ingredients. It is getting the vinegar and the sugar that we need in this into a stainless steel pat. This isn't one. And then we're going to just let that come to a gentle simmer. So I need to start with mill. There we go. I didn't ask Joe if you're happy to say, where is it you cycle? Is it at least anywhere nice you're cycling in the morning? Where have you found one? Let's have a look. Hang on. Off camera for a second. Oh, it does look nice.
It doesn't have canal views, but it's on like a little square. It's 635.
Well, that's still good, considering that we're close to the time. And we can walk to a canal, can't we?
Yeah. Let me just see where it is on my map.
Here we go. Right. First bit of measuring. Apple cider vinegar. I have never used apple cider vinegar before.
Maybe you should try some. You know, people drink it straight for
They drink it straight,
benefits.
really?
Yeah, for health benefits, like you have like a shot a day or something. It's like
Really?
a thing.
All right, let's give it a whirl. Hang on. Let's. I'm very open to suggestion. Before we had a shot glass of gin, and now I've got a shot glass. In fact, let's move that out of the way. Go on, I can do this better. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm making a mess, and you can't see anything. That's not really what you want. I'm letting you down here, Joe. So, and now the recipe has fallen gently into view. Sit there. Thank you. So, let's try it. I'll tell you what I think of it. If you're still there, Joe, I don't know if you ever tasted or tried this. Let's have a... Whoa! Good grief. Not exceedingly scenic, however the route's always empty. That's a positive. Yes, I suppose that's true. That's early in the day, isn't it? You don't really want to be running into vehicles and stuff. Literally or metaphorically. That is weird. That's like I've just sniffed vinegar, but the apple is just creeping in the background. Okay. Here we go. Let's see how this is. Oh! 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 Oh, that's not good. Woo! Is this the bit where you tell me that actually
No,
nobody...
genuinely.
People genuinely
it's like
do
a
that?
health fad. Apple vinegar is a thing. It's like a massive health fad thing.
Oh, good grief. People don't like themselves very much if they do. Would you like to try it?
No.
No, wise. I mean, we're both fighting off colds, so... I mean, I've poured it in the glass. Part of me thinks just drink the damn thing, but... Whew. Here we go again. Oh, actually, I was about to say, it gets better the more you drink it. It doesn't. Okay, I think it's enough macho behaviour from me. Macho sort of fellow, aren't I? Note the deathly silence after I said that.
I wasn't listening, to be honest.
That's fair enough. I don't blame anyone for not really listening as I sort of prattle on. Oh, good grief. Well, I mean, you're yawning in the background and not listening. It's clearly stimulating content, this. Right, okay, so...
Yep.
Thanks, Bob. Right, okay, here we go. So we need... Oh, gosh, it doesn't take forever. Come on.
Oh my god, it smells potent.
Can you smell it from there?
Yeah.
Right, we need apparently well, I'm glad we did the apportioning of this down, because can you imagine putting 500 millilitres of this?
No.
It would have killed everything. There we are. This either is going to turn into a positive cooking stream, or it's going to be ASMR, just for people listening to cooking noises. Whoa. Drat. Too much.
You have to take some out.
I'm going to have to take some out. I can't get it back in that the nozzle. Means yours truly is getting another health kick. Oh, God. No hubris can overcome the insurmountable retching conducive to any vinegar form. Oh, actually, that's not very good.
What?
It doesn't screw back on properly. That's useless. What good is that? It's just going in circles. We'll have to improvise something now. Okay.
What did you do?
It's a bottle that clicks on the top. You don't
It's
screw
not
it.
a screw.
It's not a screw.
Oh.
Oh, crumbs indeed. Okay. Right. I need to get out a couple of mil. I really wish I didn't have to. Come on. 194. There we go. That's what we're after.
Oh, just enough.
Just. Oh, no. Now it's down to 93. Okay, come on. Drop. No, now it's 95. Right, hang on. Oh, that is... Not that I'm going to get sort of... Well, I mean, no one here is going to complain. Is this like the flipping lady in a Goop website or whatever with her crazy claims to what is good for you?
Huh?
You know, what's that crazy lady in a Goop website making crazy claims?
What? Gwyneth Paltrow?
That's her, yeah.
That's her.
How is that meant to be good for you? Who says it is? Anyway, never mind. No grumbling. My taste buds are on fire, at least I'll give you that. Right, okay, so now we need sugar. No prattling. Come on, let's crack on. Let's not delay. Because we've got rhubarb cooling. Grab some sugar. There we are. More sugar pouring. Here we go. And now we need 58.2. Well, actually, it's an interesting thought that crossed my mind. What brought you to us, Joe? Are you a fan of cooking? Did you just stumble or something? Do you ever use cardamom pods in cooking? Yes, I think I have used cardamom.
You've got cardamom?
Yeah, I mean, use them in curries,
Yeah.
for sure. In fact, one of the gin recipes I looked up was, I think it was cardamom, cloves, and...
Also, weren't we going to put cardamom in the naan breads?
Yes, we are. Joe, we're going to be making naan breads too. Thank you very much.
Well,
Your brain works far better than mine by the end of the week. There was
or
a...
in general.
In general as well, yes. Yeah, so... Oh, dear.
I feel that's so weirily.
No, not at all. I will say to anyone that I meet, you are the brighter of the two. You are gifted and talented. And I am simply bewildered, befuddled, and I am pouring sugar gently into a bowl of vinegar and hoping that it works. So yes, sorry Joe, your question, cardamom. Indian cooking comes right to mind. As lovely singing missus in the background has just said, we're actually going to do naan breads very soon, homemade. They're going to have cardamom pods in. Obviously, Indian cuisine, again, just leaps to mind. And we are going to try, although I've never encountered it before, going to put it in another gin attempt. But obviously, every time we do the gin, we got to buy the vodka, so we have to drink it. We can't just, become a brewery. So I don't know when that one will be, but we'll do it. You look forward to the naan attempts. So do we. Yeah, so do I. I hope that they will work. Right, okay, so not a great deal to show you yet. We've basically just got vinegar and sugar. It's not melting down yet. We've got no heat to do that. Oh, I'll tell you something. That cider vinegar's repeating on me. Whew.
Do you feel healthy?
I do not feel healthy. I feel like I've been tricked. Oh, hang on. Now, I put a third of a lime and there's half a lime in the fridge.
I know, but it's quite an old lime.
Yeah, maybe not. That's not the freshest looking. In fact, let's get rid of ingredients that we're not using for a second. Yeah, let's use. We bought it with a purpose, so let's just use it.
You can have some desperados now.
Oh yes, we can. Oh hey, that's a good idea. Should we get some on the way home tonight? There's a plan.
Si, è giusto.
Si, è giusto. Indeed, in honour of the holiday that we're going on to, I should have said to the stream and to you, Joe, buongiorno and come stai this fine Sunday. You realise then that I chickened out. As I realised I'd completely forgotten what Sunday is in Italian. That was appalling.
I thought you'd introduce yourself.
Oh, yes. It would be mi chiamo decaffeinated. Ow. Lau, la, lau, la, lau. Piacere, Joe. Piacere, Mr. Nosler. And I'm throwing on an appalling accent. That just slipped in somewhere. It's not good. So, hello, Mr. Nosler. Hope you're well. Good to see you here. Hope your week has been treating you well as Joe. Okay, I'll bring you up to speed. You've missed, but you can catch up. And I've even checked this out for learning technology. We have a YouTube channel now. Ooh. So we're saving all of these because I know Twitch deletes them. But what you've missed, and you can catch up on, is we've made some stewed rhubarb. That is still too warm to consider finished yet. It needs to cool down completely, but let's just have a...
It has thickened though, right?
It has thickened. I have a feeling it's going to be nice, but I think the blood orange is too much.
Aww, so it's ruined.
It's not ruined, no. Yeah, I'm unsure what that accent was. You and me both, Joe. That wasn't Italian, I'll tell you that much.
I'm going to wait until it's even cooler.
Yeah, I think cool is the answer. And then we want...
We'll get rid of this.
One lime. So that's the first bit, Mr. Nosler. What we're doing now is we're pickling some radishes, mostly. Sorry, we do just randomly start singing during the day. We even do it on the trains, don't we? You alright?
Yeah.
Okay, right. Lime. So normally with the full recipe it's a full one, but because I didn't have enough radishes, I'm improvising. You've missed some excellent mathematics. We didn't at all watch me completely fail and then rely on the good Mrs. L and her calculator. So there we are. So that's going to go in a couple of drinks later. Do you want to put that in the fridge?
Yeah.
Good. So then we need the zest and juice. In fact, about to make a rookie mistake there. Don't do the juice first, do the zest first.
Hey, you're breaking the rule. You going back and forth?
So I was just saying, don't do that. Do that instead. Clearly that was intentional, because now I can tell you, Mr. Nosler, the tip that we picked up from watching another YouTube channel, thanks to Andrew Serrana, my boyfriend, This has been a really, really, really long week. My brother... Okay, I'm going to have to clip that and send it to him. My God. My brother and his wife...
Good Lord.
Oh, help me. Oh, no. Oh. Oh, God. Right. My my brother and his wife pointed us in the direction of one Brad Leone, and apparently, and I'd never really twigged, it's obvious when you think of it, only use your grater like that going down against essentially the bait. If you're going both ways, all you're going to do is just blunt it. So don't do that, do this instead. So just straight down. We had better success with the blood orange. Try with, if it says zest, try not to go, see I failed there slightly, I'll always show my failures. Can I get that really close to the camera, can you see it? Focus on it. There, I've gone too far. That's into the pith. So I'm just going to go a little slower, checking as I go, because the pith will just make it, I think, a little bit unpleasant. It's just a bit too sharp. So, yeah, I'm not going to live that one down, I don't think, for a while. So there we go. Trying very carefully. Nearly there. I think that's about as much as we're going to get. Yeah, there we go. I could probably, well, maybe I'm going to get a bit more if I just focus a little bit on that. And then the next tip picked up from last night, again, it's just to add, I'm not a chef or anything, I'm just a complete amateur. If you run your finger, I'm doing it this way just so that I can show the camera, but otherwise you could just go straight down. If you run it along there, and then just run your finger along, you'll get most of it clumped up into the corner, and then, there we go. And get as much of that lovely, lovely, lovely flavour, and hope, of course, that you've not got any cuts. Otherwise, you'll start to squawk as though you just tried some straight apple vinegar.
I ate all the cheese.
You've eaten all the cheese? I thought I bought a brand new bag.
It was good.
It was good. The bag of cheese was good. But they are only little. And they're the good fats, of which we all need. There's a health tip. Always try and have a little bit of fat in your diet. So there we go. So a bit more ASMR squeezing. There we go. It's about as much as I'm going to get out of that. So there we go. Let's get that off my hands.
I think potentially I've been through all 76 options.
Mm-hmm. And what?
So
How's it looking?
it shouldn't be too expensive.
No?
And what I didn't realise is that a lot of these already include the city tax.
Oh, do they?
Really
Oh,
good.
great. Oh, super.
We don't have to
Right.
worry about that.
Okay. Let's get that off. Now, one thing I haven't been able to find in my cupboard full of tricks is the allspice.
Oh, God.
I know we've got some. We definitely do.
Do we indeed?
We barely ever use it. We must do. Oh no.
What?
I found mixed spice. Please don't tell me that's what I thought it was.
I think we always do that.
Oh no.
But I can have a look through.
No, I think I've goofed. Oh no! We're in luck. We got it.
Well done.
No, well done you for organising the spices properly.
Or Well, they're clearly not organised, otherwise you would be able to find it.
No, I'm just fairly hopeless. I've got 2 balloons that say nay and nay. Nay, nay indeed, Mr. Nosler. Nay, nay indeed. Right.
Isn't that a dance move?
A dance move, really?
Yeah, it's in that song.
I don't know it. I'm not much of a dancer. So let's crack on. Right, okay, so where was I? So this needs to gently warm up. We're going to move the camera again in a minute. I'm just going to get it going because we want it to gently warm and the sugar to gently melt. So here we go. So let's just move you along. Here we go. Right. Right now, this is just a bowl of sugar.
And apples.
And apple cider, and some lime, and some zest. So, just going to start that going. Bit of the old centrifugal. So let's just... So that's where we are. Let's come back over here. We've got a bit more prep to do.
As soon as it's sort of like...
Focused.
Yeah, like stops being all pixely, you then move it.
I moved. Sorry, folks. I'll get better at this, I promise. I've never ever done anything like this before. So, hang on. Allspice before time marches on. So, we need... What are we going to need? I'm going to need peppercorns. Now, this recipe actually calls for white or pink. Unfortunately, I didn't realise that, which is a bit of a failing on my part.
You know, there's a tub with the peppercorns in, so you didn't
Oh,
have
is
to
there?
take them out the grinder.
Okay. I'm here now.
Indeed.
So, I'm going to do just... Well, this is meant to be 1 teaspoon, and I'm doing it very badly. So, okay. I'm just creating a mess. Right, okay, so there's that. As clear as we go. Save us a job later. Give that a bit of a stir. Get that slowly melting down. And I've just realised, of course, that's why the oven was on. I was meant to be sterilising a jar, and I forgot to do that too. Oh lordy, but I have just washed it, so I can just put that in. So yes, if anyone ever fancies giving this whole preserving a go, one thing that I read in all books to do with this, make sure not only that you wash these in soapy water, and there you go, Joe, that's why you want your fairy or your fairy platinum. This isn't sponsorship, just make sure it's clean. And then pop them in a slightly warm oven, not too hot. Mine is currently about 180. In fact, I need to remind myself what it is meant to be. So I'm going to put that on just for 10 minutes, and that will essentially vaporize any nasties that might be waiting in the wings. So next thing, whilst that's doing that and our sugar is melting down, I'm going to go for half a teaspoon's worth of salt. In fact, I'm just going to leave that in the spoon. There we are. Just for ease, rather than trying to pick that up in a bit. There we go. And then on to our allspice. Now that asked for half. I'm going to go for a third. So there we are. So once we're done melting down the sugar and the zest and the lime, I'm going to just tip all of these in. And that should sort us out. Easy peasy, he says, having fairly much mucked up every stage of this. So it was a good week for you as well, Mr. Nozza. Poor Joe's been cycling everywhere, it seems, at all hours, and I hope you've had a good one as well, whatever it is you've been up to. And I don't know what Nene is, but I'm going to assume it's to do with the dance that Mrs. Al just mentioned. In fact, I needed to read my recipe more carefully. You see, true professional stuff. Need to wash that one now. We actually need to slice these whilst everything is clearing down. So let's in fact just shufty these off stage right and start to thinly slice. I meant to look up a couple of techniques for thin slicing, but I understand. I'm not going to do it now just because I've not looked it up. If you hold your finger like that,
It doesn't seem right, though, don't you think?
no, it doesn't. But I can understand it in the sense of my finger should never get close to the blade
because
then
it's... you just chop off the middle of your finger.
Now that would make for some viewership. Man slices off his finger live. Pillock could not read recipe. Let's get quite thin now.
It's 3:30.
It's half. Jesus, 3:30 already.
Yeah.
Crumbs. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Our sugar is melted down, and I'm now falling slightly behind time. And time is plodding on, so I'm going to thump along because we've got other things we've got to do today. So we need to. Oh, I misread the recipe twice. Now we're meant to add the lime zest and juice. Whoops. So we need to add in spices, salt, peppercorns, beetroot. Oh damn, beetroot! I forgot there's beetroot going in this. Oh no! Oh good lord! Right, hang on. In there you go. Gonna have to do some fast action beetroot slicing. Where's my beetroot? Oh no, and it's muddy as well.
And remember, beetroot stains like hell.
And beetroot does indeed stain like hell. We're going to have to put this in something actually because I'm cleaning the whole thing. So I'm going to have to...
You can roast it up.
Yeah, I can do some roast. Right, okay, there we go. Quick, because that's meant to already be in. Quickity quick. Mr. Northland, mostly procrastinating. What is it you do, Mr. Northland? If you're happy to say, of course, Joe and Mr. Northland, do you both know each other from work? Right, let's get that off. Top and tail, get that bit of beetroot off. And I want, well, it says one slice. I'll do two very thin ones. Just as thin as I can manage. How's that? That's pretty damn thin. And there we are. Thin as you like. There we go. Improvisation and width there. But I'm going to keep these off.
I'm not entirely happy about you putting them on the laptop.
No, right, okay, I'll get them off. Just put them on a plate.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything I can do to help. Like, for example, remember what it is I'm doing. Right, so that needs 5 minutes. So that's pretty much the timer. So we'll just turn that right down. So let's just do some quick radish slicing.
Oh, they have to be sliced?
Yep.
Long-time business associates.
Long time. That is marvellously both answering the question and yet entirely cryptic. I love it. Super. Always good to have a long time business associate. I suppose, especially if you're in a bean revolution. Hail comrades and all that thing. And, secret handshakes. I end up in hysterics, laughing like a drain at a low with all the secret winks and handshakes and passwords and things. Ask me about anything like Love Island or something, and I'll have no idea. But give me old age television, I'm probably all right. God, I just realised how much slicing this is going to do. Let's try and speed up the process without also cutting off my fingers in the middle of it.
Oh, it looks nerve-wracking.
It looks nerve-wracking. Maybe I should put a vote button on. Is he going to chop off his fingers in this stream? It'd be a bit grim if I did, you know. Now that was probably not a good idea because I've made that harder for myself. So I'll slow down for that one. That's a pile of radishes. The Heinz. Excellent. Marvellous. I'm not missing anything. I didn't, in fairness, Mr. Nozzle, I really didn't think I was missing anything. The Heinz handshake. I like that. It's almost like Masons and things. Right. Rather than shifting the camera, because I appreciate it's pixelating out, it's going to be done in 2 minutes, so I'm going to just bring it back over to the camera, because the next thing to do is to just let it cool. Let it...
Yeah.
Love that. Do you know, that is absolutely true. However, I think that belongs, quite frankly, on a t-shirt. Yes, people that looks like they could do with a Heinz education. A bit slower there. Let's not lose a fingertip. Oh, crumbs, how am I going to do all of these? Oh, geez, 1 minute 56. Oh, come on. Fast, 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 fast.
Do you want me to help?
It's okay. I set a challenge. I need a vote button, though. I like that. I think you can do that with extensions.
Okay.
All to be considered when we actually have a computer. But these smells rather nice. Although, I'll be honest, I don't know what the beetroot's doing in all of this, because it just seems to be just sitting in the liquid. It seems a bit odd to me.
I think it's a colour thing.
Do you think?
Yeah.
Well, so the recipe was for pink radishes. Maybe it serves no other purpose than colouring. Which is a bit of a shame, really, because beetroot's a nice ingredient. Could do better than that for the beetroot. Right. What do we think, folks? Am I going to make it before the end? No, says Mrs. Owl. Thank you very much. Nice to have. I jest, of course. She is my cheering corner. I could not do this without her, but come on. Oh God, there's so much beetroot. It's just a sea of sliced beetroot. Come on, my man. Chop faster. Gordon Ramsay would be shouting at me.
What would he be shouting?
He'd be shouting some obscenities that I don't think belong in stream. What's that one, the internet meme where he's got 2 pieces of bread on the side of the chef's head and says, "What are you? An idiot sandwich." Although, chaps, if you want good fun, go and watch... Oh, what's the strict name of it? It's Before We Feast. Or
No, First We Feast.
First We Feast and the Hot Ones challenge.
No, it's just called Hot Ones.
Or is it just Hot Ones?
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay on that is hilarious because he just cannot cope. He's the big man who can't do it. Yes, if you absolutely blitz it. Come on then, absolute blitzing. Damn! Maybe if I hadn't been... oh no, I've got no excuse. Although, no, that was 4 minutes. I've got another 30 seconds. Come on.
I should have put on a bet or something.
Well, I think that's what you can do with this. There's things where the chat, Mr. Nozzle and Joe could actually vote whether or not it's going to succeed or not. But I need a computer to set that up. Right. I haven't really set 30 seconds, but truth be told, I think I've blown it. Although I'm pretty close. Some good knife work here, if I do say so myself. He then chops off his finger and runs away screaming. Right, however, that does need to come off the heat now. There we go. Right, okay, so let's just finish up slow. Because they are also getting much smaller. Let's just slow that down. Now, you see, if I'd been well prepared, of course, I'd have just done this in advance, but it wouldn't have been nearly as fun. Nearly there, nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. There we go. That's a bit thick. Hang on. Oh, hang on, here we go. 2 at once. Oh, no, that's not worked. There we go. And we're there. with that, with that, with that. That's about that. If you don't like radishes, this ain't the place for you. Here we go. There we go. Right, so let's take this out. We've got our sterilised jar now, so that's going to be ready once that's cooled a little bit. I'm going to leave the oven on because I feel like doing something in the oven for our lunch. Let's get this across. So what we've got now is basically it's the stewing liquid that's going to... Can I hold that? Yeah, that's not too hot. There we are. Oh, good grief, it's a bit strong. Woo! So there we go. Don't know how well you can see that, but it looks like I've murdered something and put it in a pack. Ow, my eyes! Oh, the vinegar's in my eyes. Oh, that is strong. Oh, don't put it in your eyes, chaps.
Yeah, I think you should open the window.
Yeah. Whoa, look at it.
This whole house smells of vinegar.
Oh, gosh. That's a bit much. Woo! And now you can hear birdsong outside. Isn't it lovely? Right, so I think because sadly what I need to have happen is that's got to cool down. The jar's got to cool down. Once it is, I can put all of that in and hey presto, that's it. But that's going to take a while. So I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to call it there. I will be sure to stealthily angle the camera to hide your non-platinum fairy lick. I know, Joe. I know you like the platinum. You know, one of these days I'm just going to slowly put it into the back of shot for you. Also, my battery power is down to 15%. So we're definitely going to have to wrap things up very soon anyway. So what I'll do is I'll make sure this is saved onto our brand new YouTube channel. Shameless. And I'll pop pictures of the rhubarb once it's cooled down. It's getting there, but it's still quite hot and it won't be ready until it's cool. We'll pop some pictures of them up on our social media. I've not decided what else we're doing, but we will be back. This will only be ready in about 48 to 72 hours, so that might be Monday or Tuesday. We'll leap on and see how it's doing. But anything we're going to do, I'll pop it up on social media of our various varieties.
Your hand's very near that knife.
Oh, is it? Oh, sorry. Safety first, gents. Safety first. Right. So, hope if we're not back on this weekend, you have a fantastic one. And yes, I'm exhausted. I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee. But it's been lovely to chat to you both. I hope you've enjoyed. We're going to be making some changes. I'm going to be thinking about things to do, and they'll all be going up, and we'll be quite open about it all. But we're now going to go and grab some lunch. We're going to run away from these radishes. I'm going to apologise to my brother for calling him my boyfriend. That's a weird moment in my life. So until then, both of you, have an absolutely brilliant weekend. It sounds like you both earned it. And we're going to go away and have a lovely afternoon. So toodly-boo from us both. And bye for now. Bye. There's the hand show. And then he leaps towards the finish button. And misses. Oh, crying out loud.